Hi all, welcome to today's presentation. My name is Dominica Gleeson and I'm delighted to be here with you. I'm a senior advisor at the University of Canberra within our People and Diversity team, and I run our core talent management processes. And prior to this, I was with EY and Deloitte for a number of years. Whilst I like to think I'm somewhat of an expert on talent and performance management, I won't pretend that I am an expert on local government. Most of my experience with local government has come from watching Parks and Rec and using the services and facilities. Some of you may recognise the Queanbeyan splash pool. My boys and I have spent so much time there. However, I have been doing quite a bit of research to better understand QPRC, and this has included reviewing your performance management policy, your reward and recognition program, your assessment policies, your organisational structure, teams, and the enormously diverse range of roles, skills, and trades that work within QPRC, as well as speaking to your colleague Bryce in HR. My understanding is we have an overall issue with performance management, and the way I see it is twofold. Firstly, we have a challenge with our performance management framework, and secondly, how our leaders are implementing it or not implementing it. Let's just jump into those two for a moment. Look at QPRC, what a diverse workplace. What doesn't make sense is having a universal performance management system that doesn't reflect the diversity of skills and roles. Look at your org chart. Why do we have to have the same performance management system for accountants, for example, that matches our colleagues that fix the roads? Secondly, it's my understanding that our leaders may be feeling uncomfortable having management conversations with their teams. And these conversations are not just around day-to-day tasks, but anything to do with performance management. Performance management tends not to happen when people do not see the value in them. For example, they may see this purely as a tick box exercise, or they are ill-equipped to have those conversations. For example, someone may have been promoted into a supervisor role because they are a guru technically, but they may be lacking those people and management skills. Is this sounding familiar? Research has shown us time and time again that HR and leadership need to work together to review their current talent management and subsequent performance management frameworks. This is especially important for public sector organisations, as both internal and external factors heavily affect the design and implementation of talent management. However, you can have the best HR capability framework in the world, but unless you have frontline managers who are engaged and supporting individuals and teams in their career, whatever that may look like, the performance management process won't work. So what happens if we ignore this? Well, it boils down to one, you're going to lose your best people. Already, QPRC is in competition with private sector salaries and other public sector offices in Canberra. And if someone's feeling undervalued, why would they stay? And secondly, the performance of your leftover teams will continue to be undermanaged, which will result in poor performance. And who is that going to impact? QPRC, like all public sector organisations, is there to provide a service to local citizens and workers. If your team is underperforming, you will be negatively impacting those who live and work here. So what I'd like to propose is we take all of the technical knowledge and the subtle nuances of each QPRC division and combine that with what is best practice from an HR performance management perspective and turn it into best fit. And to do this, we need the input of those technical gurus in leadership positions. Whilst working with HR to help tweak the current performance management processes, this will also serve as an opportunity to coach our leaders on how to be having meaningful performance management conversations with their teams and why it's so important for them to be doing this regularly. As you can see, the overall benefit of having engaged frontline managers delivering meaningful performance management will be the individual team members, improvement of the overall team's performance, and therefore furthering QPRC's objectives and strategic agenda. And finally, this will then have the knock-on effect of positively impacting the community in so many ways. Thank you all for your time. If you have any further questions or comments, please do not hesitate to reach out to me.